Today's story time is super, super, super crazy. Now, I know y'all heard a lot of stuff from me, bro. And what motivated me to post story times again, I did a story time because y'all was begging. I'm a kid being was begging. It had to be God, bro. It was like multiple hitting my Instagram like, bro, Rod, we need a story time, bro. I got this long hour shift. Bah, 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 bah. I'm like, damn. I'm like, all right, bro, I do it. When I did it, y'all took it up to like 50K. So I'm like, all right, I'm gonna do another one. Then I kept doing them. You my man, nailed clipping it on TikTok again and just dropping them and with it. So I'm like, bro, why not? Just asking for it, why not, bro? You feel me? They said they listen to my shit while they sleep. They listen to my shit during long hours of work. So yeah, we on it. Why not? I need y'all to make sure y'all clicking the like button because they be getting like 50K. I'm like, I still don't understand how we get 60K views that like story times. And it's like, bro, why we only got 4K likes, 3K likes? I'm trying to turn it up. But look, I lived in Southford Street. This the Wing King. This not the Wing King. Bro, I lived down Southford Street. This is in West. You my man. So around this time, I'm gonna keep it a bean. This around the time Nas was taking care of me. Shout out to my Nas, bro. No, I had ran away. Y'all know I had ran away from my mom's house. I had ran away from Munchie crib. I moved with Nas. And bro, when I couldn't eat, Nas was asking his mom for money. We go to the we splitting platters, bust down straight through the middle. You my man. We was straight through the middle. Yo, fake, appreciate you. The fake weenie, appreciate you for the sub. We busting them bitches down the middle. Now look, I had came into some cheese. I always been a money getter. So even when he was helping me, bro, I had a job. So I was helping him back. You feel me? Once I grabbed my job. But before I had a job, he was taking care of me. So I had came into some money. My man's Kai that I had told y'all about. I think I told y'all a story about Kai. Kai put me on the scamming shit. That was my first time doing the scamming. He had me, not a runner going to the bank. I ain't never going to no bank. Oh, he had me just picking people, like getting people. So I knew people, we was hitting up. Yo, bro, what you got, who you bank with? Wasn't texting me back. That shit was like door to door. Yo, who you bank with? Let me know who they bank with. I'm like, all right, cool, bro. I could get you 5,000 right now. I'm pulling up to their crib, getting their cards, all this, blah. Rod phone never charged. That. I'm getting their cards, going to the bank. We got a walker. He go walk in. He bring the money out. We drop him off at his crib. All that. Blah. You my man. We turning up. Yeah, you was one of them. I'm sorry, bro. So my man's Kai, he like, yo, we got to play tonight. I wasn't telling Nas about this. It was me, Kai, and Leak. I was doing this with Leak. I was like, yo, Nas, I'll be right back. That was my solo mission. He, where you going? I'm going with Kai. I'll be right back. That's my man, Kai. I'm with Kai. I'm getting all this cheese. I ran into all this cheese, like 2,000. After that, I'm grabbing Palm Angel jackets. I'm grabbing all this, bro. I'm swagging out. So Pete, and mind you, none of this had nothing to do with the story, but that's how I came into the money. You feel me? Let me tell you how I came into the money. Scam some. Hold up. I could really dive back and tell y'all how that heist went. I could tell y'all how that heist went if y'all want to. No, I'm going to tell y'all how that heist went because that was hilarious. Look. So he said, bro, we need somebody with he said, what bank was that? He said, we need somebody with a Wells Fargo, bro. It got to be a Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo clapping. Wells Fargo. He kept saying it. So I'm posting like, yo, we doing same day returns. Not hitting me back. I hit some from middle school. He was my man's brother. I hit him like, yo, you got Wells Fargo? He like, yeah. So I'm sending them voice messages like I'm talking him through it. You my man. I'm like, yo, bro, you could get 5,000. You gonna be right there in person, bro. We gonna give it to you, all this. My whole thing was to pull them in to do it because at the end of the day, you not getting no money when we done with this shit, little bro. When we done with this shit, you not getting none of it. I'ma keep it a bean. So he like, all right, bet, say no more. He like, bro, is it gonna f my account up? I said, no, bro, we got account recovery, bro. We gonna recover your account, trust me. I'm like, bro, trust, bro. We do account recovery. I'm like, bro, would you rather steal from your own people or steal from them? He said, no, you right, bro. I said, all right, bet. I pick him up. I try to get his card. He like, nah, I'm not giving you my card. I said, all right, say no more. I said, bro, that's why I dicked him. I said, bro, we not even going to do 5,000. We're going to do 10,000. I said, we're going to do half and half. He said, all right, bet. We drive him to the bank. We make him walk in there. He taking a little minute. I'm sweating like, bro, we might have to leave this. You my man. He come out. We ducking. He get in the car. He got the envelope of money. He like, I got the money, y'all. We like, all right, come on, we out. When my man caught driving, while he driving, we pulling off. I look to the back. I'm like, let me see the money. He like, for what? I'm like, bro, let me see the money. Let me see how much. I'm counting it. I put it in my pocket. So he like, yo, when I'm gonna get my half? I said, bro, we gonna pick you up tomorrow. We gonna get the other 5K. You get your half off of that, bro. We get the front end because we did the heavy lifting. We dropped him off at and he wasn't trying to get out the car though. So I said, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do for you, bro. Broke him off $300. I said, take 300. I'm gonna cash up you 200. That's 500. Just give me the 500 back out your side. We left that nigga at his place. Me and my man split it up. So now we only had 4,700. Since Kai actually do the scripts and all that, he get a higher cut. I took like 2 bands. My man took like 27. You my man, we did him slime. Left him at the crib, blocked him on everything. But Pete though, I had 2 bands after that. That was not the point, but I'm like, I can't tell y'all that story. Mind you, he started hitting my sister like, yo, I think your brother scammed me. I grabbed my sister the phone like, yo, bro, text my sister again. We gonna fuck you up, blood. And I just left it there. I'm like, bro, we gonna get you, bro. All right, but Pete though, you gotta do what you gotta do. I'm gonna keep it a bean. That paid my mom. You gotta do what you gotta do, bro. That paid my mom bills, bro. I'm gonna keep it a bean. That shit over. But Pete, I got all this money. So me and Nas was Uber merchants. We was Uber merchants, bro. One day we get in the wrong Uber. We get in a wrong Uber, bloody. I call this Uber. I'm trying to go to King of Pressure Mall. I'm like, bro, you could get whatever you want, Nas. I'm spending $200 a day. Saying, yo, should I get the cheesesteak or the wings? I say get both. $200 a day had you feeling like a bull back then. Bro, what? I felt like a bull. And I still had guapanese. I'm like, bro, as long as I don't go under 1,000, I'm be cool. That's not the point. I call it Uber Comfort. I'm like, let me see what the Uber Comfort be about. I don't know why I just called the Uber Comfort. Y'all, this is the worst Uber I could have ever called. Gang, we driving for like 10 minutes. I'm bidding with Nas. Then I put my headphones in. 10 more minutes pass. I'm like, why we still in the city area? I don't know the route to KOP, but I know we was supposed to have been on the highway. So I look up KOP. I click directions, and I'm like, yo, we was supposed to have been on the highway. Why we not on the highway yet? So I'm like, yo, bro, where you going? And he not really saying nothing. Me and Nas think it's the bid, though. Nas like, wait, bro, what? I'm showing all of the Nas. Nas is crying. I don't know why, but we two little-ass boys in the back of the Uber cracking the f*** up. And he's kidnapping us the whole time. So I don't know why we was laughing, bro. But I kept saying a little slick, like, yo, hey, bro, stop playing me. And then we both laugh, So we cracked the f*** up. You my man, he pulled up and he stopped. I'm thinking he had a red light. He stopped. He looked back. You gonna get out or no? I'm like, what? Mind you, the whole Uber smelling like douche. This shit stank. The whole Uber smelling like douche. So I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, gang, you tripping. I'm not getting out of this joint. Like, what? No. So I'm like, I'm not getting out of this joint. Where we at? You my man, he take me to a funeral home. I'm outside a funeral home. So Pete, the at the funeral home, they got a lot going on. So they like, yo, you can't park right here. You can't park right here. Move. They telling us move. I'm like, bro, you gotta move. He like, you gotta get out. I'm like, I'm not getting out. Mind you, the boy like, move. So I'm like, bro, I'm not getting out this Uber, bro. He like, I'ma cancel it. I said, cancel it then and give me my money back. And I said, even if I get my money back, I'm waiting for the next Uber in this car. You feel me? I'm waiting for the next Uber in this car. No, stop lying. Stop. All right, look, let's ban you. Let's stop you. How about that? Now ban. How about that? How about we stop you from dick riding? Stop sign? What stop sign? Alright. Pete though. So the end up pulling to the corner because it was on the type tip like, alright, they really need us to move because they trying to get the hearse out. They trying to get the hearse out and get people in, all that. So the same person who told us move came and knocked on the window. He like, bro, y'all not gonna help us? We gotta bring supplies in. Richard, what'd he say? He said, Richard's body is on the way, something. Like Richard body is on a repass. He said something repass, something Richard body. So I'm like, oh no, I'm not a part of the family. He said, you gotta be the part of the family to help out? Come on, man. So Nas start getting out and I'm like, Nas. And he like, bro, they got a funeral bit. We gotta wait for the Uber anyway. You my man, we get out the Uber. Why the Uber driver get out too? The Uber driver get out too. Now we carrying boxes into a funeral home. So I'm like, Nas, this cool, but no. So I look into my pocket. I call my Uber to KOP. Mind you, he took us deep into the bottom to some funeral home. But now we carrying boxes in a funeral home for this random family and they dead deceased family member, gang. The Uber is helping us, bruh. Mind you, no. So we sitting there, we helping move the boxes and all that. So I'm like, all right, I go to the boy. I'm like, all right, I'm about to dip, bro. My Uber 5 minutes away. And he like, bro, you gonna stay? Richard coming out now. So I'm like, bro, I can't stay. I'm like, bro, this my Uber driver. He like, you cool with your Uber driver? I'm like, no. So I'm telling him everything. I'm busting it up with him. He actually funny, he a cool dude. He like, yo, okay, damn, y'all dance? He like, bro, why won't y'all come dance for my church? Blah, blah, blah. I got this church. Y'all should dance for my church. So we talking business now at this point, right? So that's what kept me for that long time. Mind you, my Uber driver is standing with me. He thought the Uber driver was with me because the Uber driver standing with me like we bipping together. Random dude sitting there, both hands in his pocket like this and taking the information. You don't dance and we don't know you. So I'm like, bro, he on some weird shit. After that, I hear, move! It's a girl, she crying. They start bringing in the casket. So I'm like, bro, Nas, we got to get out of here, bro. No, this shit getting weird. We got to get out of there. He like, yo, I think y'all should really stay. Blah, blah, blah. He like, the preacher who gonna talk today, bro, mind you, a casket coming down the middle. I'm like, bro, we gotta get out of here. We gotta get out of here. No bullshit. They talking about, bro, what the fuck, bro? I'm dead ass, gang. You my man. We told that he danced and he started trying to book us for his shit. We showing, now Nas showing videos. And I know, and it's crazy because I know Nas and I know his dance and shit. He genuinely showing this man his best vids of the week. And like, yeah, bro, we dance at Level Up and this, that, and the third. You feel me? So like, he forcing a funeral on us, low key. But I'm like, it's cool. I'm like, bro, we going dip. So I'm like, yo, our Uber outside. You ever call a Uber and somebody talking so much that you know your time ticking down, but you don't want to be rude? At that time, I ain't had like I was bold, but it was like, all right, hopefully he gonna shut up in the next minute, y'all. I get the message. Your Uber driver is still waiting. You will be charged after the allocated time. I'm sitting there like, all right, hopefully. Yup. Yeah, no, I said, and I keep saying, bro, anytime. Anytime. So, blah, 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 all this. I'm like, all right, bro, the Uber outside. We got to go now. I'm like, Nas, come on. I start to walk away a little bit. And he, all right, no, say no more. Let me give y'all my business card. Hold on, stay right here. Let me give y'all my business card. I'm going to run. I'm like, bro, we can't. He running, though, actually. I'm like, bro, he full sprinting. So Nas kind of just like, I'm like, bro. I'm like, I'm going to go get the Uber. You stay right here, Nas. I run out to get the Uber. As soon as I run out, he on the same corner that the parked on. I'm running with my flash on. Yo. The pulls right off as soon as I get out. It literally, this is the car. I'm, yo. And the pulls off. I'm like, bro, what the So I text him, I'm like, turn around, this me with the white shirt. My whole message thread disappeared because he canceled. It disappears. Take me back to the search app. And they charged me $7 for making him wait. So I go back in, Nas still talking to these. When I'm like, yo, Nas, we gotta leave. You start hearing music play. The on the keyboard. So I'm like, yo, mind you, everybody's sitting. I'm like, Nas, we out, bloody. He like, bro, he asked us to stay. I'm like, bro, we don't know this who died. We gotta dip. The gonna look at Nas and say, yo, I think we should stay, bro. I said, bro, we don't know you. So now I'm like, bro, who is you? He like, no. I'm like, what? I'm like, who the f is you, though? So he like, bro, I ain't got no more rides for the rest of the day. I'm clocked out for real. So I'm like, bro, you gotta take us to KOP. He like, all right, I'm gonna take y'all now. I'm like, bro, I give you $20. He like, all right, we out. You my man, the music start playing. Then like, sit down. Now I start walking. I'm like, I'm not sitting down. I walk out and I'm sitting there. I'm texting Nas, come out. Gang, I'm outside for 5 minutes. Nas not coming out. I walk back in the building. I'm Nas. Start looking at me like this. I'm like, Nas. Nas, that's why I'm like, Nas, we out. But he not hearing me, bro. Nas is locked in. Nas like this. Nas glued. I'm like, Nas. So I start trying to, I walk 2 more rows up to try to reach him, but I'm trying not to really go in the middle of the floor. So I'm like, Nas, Nas. The lady gonna stand up and say, well, goddamn, my brother died. Nobody can show him respect. I said, what? I'm like, Nas. So they turn around like, we out. They like, what you mean you out? Now walking? They say, nobody leaving nothing now. Everybody sit down. Everybody sit down. The one of the other uncles stand up and like, this keep talking. All this do is talk. So I'm like, bro, what the f? Now 2 of the family members is arguing. But they like, don't let nobody leave. I'm like, Nas, we out. They like, yo, we out. That's how I know we need to be out. So I'm like, bro, we out, bro. They on some weird. Bro, I'm like, yo, they on some weird. Bro, Nas was lounging. I'm like, Nas, we could have been out of this joint, bro. We could have been out of this joint. So the boy like, bro, we out. I'm gonna take y'all to KOP. I'm like, we out. We try to leave and they like, no, don't leave, don't leave. If you her guest, you can stay. I said, I'm not her guest. That's what the man said that was arguing with the girl. If y'all her guest, y'all can stay. But at the end of the day, this is my brother. Y'all, 2 different sides of the family of the brothers was arguing. And they sitting there telling me sit down and one is telling me leave. I'm like, bro, I'm leaving. You my man. I go to leave out and they like, bro, we not opening the doors right now. No, we don't need no sunlight in here. Go sit down. Go sit down. We don't care about the family arguing. We can't have the doors open. This real unprofessional. Y'all being unprofessional. I said, bro, I'm not family. I'm like, I don't know this in the casket. We trying to dip. This is my Uber driver. You my man. The gonna say, I'm not his Uber driver. He took all the seriousness out of my convo. Now the at the door gonna look at me and say, bro, sit down. I said, bro, what? I'm like, bro, what? I'm like, what the is y'all talking about? Gang, we sitting all the way in the back. I'm like, bro, as soon as he move, we gonna run out. Mind you, we kids, so he keep trying to talk to us like we kids. So I'm like, bro, you feel me? If we was grown, he would have had no choice but to just, you feel me, move. But they tripping. And they low-key on some like, you feel me? So we all the way in the back row. I'm sitting there by the door. I'm like, bro, as soon as he move, we out. You my man. He not moving. They make us line up. They make everybody line up. Now we in a line to see this Richard body. Bro, we walk up to see this Richard. It's a who look like he killed everybody. He did it. That's the you look at it and say, bro, we not being stereotypical. You did it. This look like how y'all think Kevin would look. This look like he did it. This body, I'm like, is this his real body or a replica? The nigga had tats all over his face. The nigga had a mean mug. They molded his mitt to a mean mug. We looking at this Richard and I'm like, bro, what the is we doing? So Pete, Nas started laughing a little bit like, bro, what are we doing here? He look at me, he like, Rod, we tripping. I'm like, bro, we tripping. I'm laughing now. Nas dumbass puts his phone up and said, bro, I gotta send this to the group chat. Chirp. Bro, they lost their mind, dog. They lost their mind when he took that picture. Bro, Nas took a pic, they lost their mind you, he wasn't taking a picture of the dead guy. He was taking a picture of the casket, kind of the corner. But they're like, yo, you taking pictures of my brother? You my man. The who was arguing and the girl who was arguing, they came together this time. You my man. Everybody starts snapping. Bro, it was kind of like, it was like being in the church and screaming something about the devil and everybody go, oh, my God. You ever see a movie where everybody like, oh, like everybody just distraught? You ever see the movie where everybody is just so distraught, like everybody is just like, oh my God. You my man, everybody start what? You my man, black funerals be a show every time, bro. It's actually like crazy. Bro, it's so ghetto. But you my man, they like, yo, give me your phone. He like, y'all not giving me my phone. You my man. He like, I'ma delete it. He trying to show, bro, that ends up grabbing Nas' phone. He like, I'ma show you I'm deleting it. Bro grab Nas' phone and snatches it. Guess what? Now it's up to RAUD, right? I walk up to bro. I said, bro, we not a part of this family. Was Nas' flash on? Yes! Yes, his flash was on. It went like, it did that. That's why everybody was like, yo, you my man. That shit was straight. That jump was loud as shit. He tripped. He had a big ass iPhone 8 Plus or 7 Plus. I forgot what it was. Yes, bro. That was loud as shit too. It said I can't imagine a random going up to my dead brother with the flash on. No boy, buddy. Yo. Pete, though. I'm telling it. I'm like, bro. I'm like, gang, we're not a part of this family. I'm telling him everything. This is my Uber driver. He drove me here. He was supposed to drive me to KOP. I got in the wrong Uber. You my man. The Uber driver like, yo, ain't you Derek? Get out. I'm like, no, I ain't Derek. Like, when we first got there, he like, you gonna get out? I'm like, no, that's not my stop. You feel me? He like, yeah, ain't you Derek? So I got in the wrong Uber, but it was just a weird John. I'm like, bro, I'm not Derek. I don't even look like a Derek. He crazy as shit. But that man wanted a story. That's why he stayed. No bullshit. No. But I'm telling all of this nigga that, and then like, yo, you took a picture of my brother. He passed. Y'all came in here. Y'all was disrespectful. Y'all was loud. You can leave. I'm like, we not leaving without that phone. He said, you are leaving. I said, bro, we're not. Not without that phone. Now it's feel personal to me. I'm like, we not leaving without the phone. You tripping. After all of this going on, the Uber driver like, all right, y'all, I might be out. I'm like, bro, this not. I'm like, hold up, bro. You still driving us to KOP. He like, bro. He like, bro, life was boring. He like, bro, it's almost about to be like 6, 7 o'clock, bro. By the time we get there, like, that shit gonna be closing. All that. I'm like, bro, then you taking us home. I got a story to tell. Yo, on the 31st, I'm gonna let y'all tell stories. They gotta be real stories, though. You feel me? So I'm like, bro, hand that phone over. He like, no, I'm not handing the phone over. I said, all right, say no more, bet. Nas looking at me. I got a plan, though. I'm like, all right, bet. Watch this. I got a plan. Nas like, bro, we not leaving without my phone. I said, Nas, it's cool. It's cool. I'm gonna buy you another one. I just try to say whatever. Nas like, nah, bro, I want my phone. You tripping. I'm like, Nas, trust me. So we act like we walking away. You my man. He go back up to the front, all that. I turn right around as soon as he not looking. I go right in his pocket. I take my phone, but I also grabbed his wallet. I said, run, Nas, run! You my man. We hard assing out the joint. Why one of his other homies, I guess this was his brother. It was brother versus brother. I guess this was his brother. He cut us right off at the door. I'm like, fuck him up. We try to fuck him up real quick but before the get there. But we don't understand by trying to get rough with this and fuck him up to get out. We initiated a rumble. So now when his man come up and sock Nas. I see Nas fall. I'm like, Nas! Bro, he slumped Nas. He slumped Nas. You can ask Nas. Nas fell a little bit. I thought Nas got knocked out, bro. He stole Nas. And Nas fell. I'm like, Nas! Bro, Nas was falling in slow-mo. Nas was punching on board. Next thing you know, Nas got stolen. Nas was just like that. I'm like, Nas. Bro, he hit him with some shit. So I automatically get off that. I go to the next. I'm trying to fight him. This a grown-ass man, though. Mind you, he just slept Nas. Nas was asleep. I promise. Nas was asleep for a couple. He woke back up, but he slept Nas, bro. Nas was real active, and he got socked, and his activity went to 0 for a little bit, bro. I'm not gonna lie. So now I'm fighting this. They jumping me. They me up. I'm like, here go your wallet. He say, that wallet. I'm like, So I'm like this. I got Nas' phone. I slipped Nas' phone in my pants. I'm like, bro, they gonna want Nas' phone as a statement. All I know is it went from 2 whooping my ass to just 1. I look back up. Nas was back up. I'm like, let's go Nas. Nas had got back up. I'm like, let's go Nas. So now I'm fighting this one nigga. The whole family come around like, yeah, you tripping. You my man. A nigga come up, grab my arms. Then he hit my stomach. Boom. I wanted to throw up and I'm like, bro, at the same time though, he my stomach, a grown man punch. You never felt a grown man punch to a little boy's stomach. You my man, bro. Another came up, held me. Once he held me, he punched my stomach. Bong! I was like, that shit. You ever hear nothing? You ever hear white noise? That shit felt like white noise. That shit said, bro, that shit hurt. I'm like, bro, this shit hurt. You my man, gang. I'm like, bro, this shit. That shit hurt, bro. Go Bird. Go Birds. You my man, bro. He caved my chest in. So I'm sitting there. I'm like, bro, no. That shit hurt. You my man. I'm like, I start screaming my age. I'm like, yo, I'm 15. I'm 15. I'm 15 years old. I start screaming that. That started getting the back up. Certain one of the that was punching me said. He pulled his hand back. I'm 15. My dad on the way. I'm 15 years old. My dad on the way right now. I start screaming that. Mind you, I don't have a dad. Mind you, I don't have a dad. No. But they start backing up a little bit. So I start fighting back. They're like, yo. So they start holding me. They're like, wait right here. They holding us. They're like, yeah, we calling the cops since you crashed this funeral home. I'm like, yo, you punched on us. You took our phone. They like, you in here taking pictures of dead people too. So I'm sitting there. I'm looking. They got us in the corner. Me and Nas just sitting in the corner. Our bodies beat up. We fatigued. We hurt. I'm like, Nas. Brad not on the way, bro. Brad was not on the way, bro. I ain't talked to Brad in years. Brad was definitely not on the way. So I'm like, yo, Nas, we gotta get out of here. He like, bro, that phone. We gotta get out of here. I'm like, bro, I got your phone. I got your phone. I was quick to take something and put it on the waistband. If it fell in, that shit was gonna be in my drawers, bro. But we got it. That's equivalent to the girls tucking shit under. Y'all ever see the older woman from the biddy tuck shit under their titties? They use it as a second purse. I didn't watch the tuck a Glock under her titty. I said, bro, what the f? Your titties not even that big. How you do that? Bro, that's a real talent, gang. I didn't watch the put cigarettes, mail, the food stamp card, and like some napkins under there. No, like I didn't see all of that at one time. Cash and in her. I don't know how. You my man, bro. That shit a superpower. That shit gotta be uncomfortable. It got to. I said, how you just pull a Newport Hidden Arts? I like how you pull a Newport box from your titties, bro. He said, y'all got tissues? She said, yeah, I do. I said, oh, no. That's accent for breast cancer, bro. They be drawn, bro. But look, I'm like, Nas, I got this shit in my pants, bro. We out. Like, Nas, we out. So I'm like, all right, Nas, I got this shit in my pants, bro. We out. Like, Nas, we out. So I'm like, all right, bet. So Pete, Nas get up. He start walking with his head down kind of to the left. I'm like, keep going, bro. You my man. They not really paying attention to us, but they just keep looking to see if we in the corner. Nas circled the whole thing. Then look, come over there. He like, yo, where your twin go? I say he left. He left out the front door. He what? He left out of what? They opened the door. I'm like, Nas, go, Nas. We both run towards the door. I get out. Nas almost out. His leg stuck. They grabbing Nas' leg. They like, you not going nowhere. This who looked like he fixed trucks with his hands, bro. Grab Nas' ankle. He like, you not going nowhere. You want to disrespect my brother? We gonna see what the cops think about it. I'm like, no. You my man. Nas' leg is being held. I'm like, so I go right back. I punched the. Now I'm like, we had a part 2. They not gonna listen to the fact that I'm 15 no more. The nigga come right back up. Still Nas. Nas go to sleep again. Nas go to sleep again. Nas is sleep. I'm like, y'all killed my brother. You my man, they slept him. I said, yo, y'all killed. Yes. Yes. I'm like, yo, y'all killed my... Bro, they slept him. I promise you. I would not lie to you. They slept him. Look. They said Nas getting stuck in ads. They snuck. So I'm like, y'all killed my brother. Y'all killed my brother. Ask me that financial question after the story time. I'm like, y'all killed my brother. Y'all killed my brother. So I act like I'm crying. I'm like, all this. I'm doing all this. Nas, wake up. I'm like, Nas, on 3. I'm just hoping you know what I'm saying. I'm like, y'all killed my brother. Y'all doing too much. That's why I don't like this family. Some girl snapping, some Muslim John snapping, and I don't even do all these churches and this, that, and the third. Y'all pissing me off. Richard gonna know that I love him. I'm going to my house though. Richard gonna know that I love him. You my man. So I'm sitting there like, all right, bro, they doing too much. But I'm like, Nas, on 3. So I'm like, 1, 2, 3. On 3, he grabs the who knocked him out. He grabs his leg and slams him. I run. I look back and say, Nas, what? Nas thought I meant attack on 3. Nas, this not attack on Titan. We gotta go. These grown ass men. He slams this man down that knocked him out. So I run back in and I'm helping him knock this out. But now we rumbling for a 3rd time. So I call 911. I'm calling 911. They broke us up. I call 911. They like, this is childish. I call 911. I start recording like, y'all nutty. Y'all nutty. Y'all almost killed my brother. Y'all slept him. Y'all slept Nas. You my man. The driver, he's on their side. He's on the other side being held back. I'm like, and why they holding you? What the f*** you about to drive us? I ain't driving y'all nowhere. Y'all tripping. Y'all doing all this at a funeral home? Yeah, I'm on that. I said, bro, you bro. Yeah, I'm on that. I said, bro, what? Bro, bro, that is popping it. That thing is popping it. You my man. While we waiting for the cops, they get the bro, I'm like, what, bro? They're popping it. Bro, so I see them like, bro, he's really in it, though. We waiting for the cops. Everything dialed down. I'm like, bro, we got just as... I'm telling Nas, like, bro, they punched us. We minors, bro. I deleted that picture out your phone. We ain't take no pictures. None of them got proof. That shit all word of mouth, bro. We 15, 14, bro. What? We about to go tell her mom you tripping. I'm like, bro, y'all tripping. I'm like, bro, what they gonna do to us? You feel me? That's how I'm thinking. So I'm like, all right, we gonna wait for the cops, too. We gonna wait for the cops, too. What y'all gonna do? What y'all gonna do? I'm like, we kids. I'm not saying that, but that's what I'm telling Nas. But I'm just playing it like, bro, y'all heard us too. I'm playing it real calm with them. But to Nas, I'm like, bro, what they gonna really do to us? You feel me? Bro, while we waiting for the cops, they bring this nigga a water. That nigga a water. They like, you cool, bro? One of the come up to him, grab his shoulder. You good, bro? Yeah, these fuck the youth, man. I'm telling you. That's why I don't let my kid go outside now. I'm like, bro, what? And they talking to the... I'm like, you's a... I'm talking to the that I was talking to him. I'm like, I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to him. He's a... I'm like, you a bro. You really... He, what? I'm like, bro, we gonna f you up. They not gonna save you, bro. We gonna f you up when we get outside. When the cops leave, we f you up. So he's like, y'all not gonna do nothing. Y'all not gonna do nothing. I'm like, bro, we gonna f you up, bro. We gonna f you up. The cops end up coming. You my man. The cop ain't pull out the notepad. He ain't touch his walkie. He ain't touch his gun. He just sitting there like, bro, y'all go home. He like, y'all go home. All right, Yadi say he ready whenever we ready. But the cop's like, yo, y'all go home. Y'all sit down. You can get back in your car. like, you can get back in your car. The cop ain't even take it down. They like, I want to press charges. The cop said, if you want to press charges, you can go down to the station and you can put in the incident report. I'm not putting in this incident report. It's too much paperwork. He like, it's too much paperwork. He like, y'all could go home. Y'all sit down. He like, I'm not writing this down. We can't be serious. These are kids at the end of the day. So I'm sitting there just looking at him like this. I'm doing a regular minute. You my man, the cop just like, nah. The other cop just laughing. Philly PD ain't usually this laid back. They not usually this laid back, but you gotta think, they don't usually come to situations like this. Philly cops don't show up unless another cop got injured or something about a gun. If you're seriously in danger and you call the cop, bro, he's waiting for the cops for like an hour. They don't come unless... They don't come. Unless there's a gun or another cop got injured, Philly cops don't pull up. They'll pull up maybe 2 hours later and say, oh, y'all call? It's like, bro, whoever was supposed to die is dead already. And we already know what we're going to do for the funeral. They don't give a fuck. They'll just put it on their checklist. All right, let me stop by there. And then sometimes they won't even just stop by. You my man. They do what they want. They don't come. No boy. Unless you say they got a gun, they'll come. But like, bro, it's proven, bro. Literally. I know this because of my aunts. My aunts used to say, they boyfriends got guns pulled out, bro, which is crazy. My aunts used to say they boyfriends pulled out guns just to get the cops to come on time. It was a time that my aunt Tina had to say that her boyfriend had a gun so that they could come a little sooner. I mean, he was being disrespectful though, but I mean, she lied and said he pulled out a gun. So as a though that's older, that's a little crazy. But yeah, still, you feel me? And then to still be together after that, I'm not wishing that type love on nobody. On nobody. That's just a side memory that is just flashback. My Aunt Tina straight called the cops. This pulling out a gun on me, please, I need y'all. Cops come, almost arrest him. Now it's him for the day. Get him out my house. And he was being disrespectful. Granted, he was being real disrespectful. Calling her bitch and all that. Disrespectful. So if she went to call the cops, that's cool. But she lied and said he had a gun. So they made him move, and they took her report down and all of that. But she was laid up with him again in a couple more days. That's nutty. I'm cool off that. Or you start calling cops on me, telling them I got guns and shit like that, I'm cool off you. No. And then get right back together? Yeah, bro, nah, you tripping. Super. Yachty a bit. But Pete, though, they make us go home and all that. So I'm like, yo, Nas, we not out yet. We waiting for the Uber, bro. We waiting for the Uber. Rod just got the Patreon and got up on episode 4, 5, and 6. That shit entertaining, ain't it? That's a dangerous type love. I don't want that love. That's the love that you think you want until you in jail. That's the love that after you get out of the jail, now you don't even want to talk to. No boy, that ain't good love. But I'm like, yo, we waiting for this Uber driver, bro. We not letting him go nowhere. You my man, the come out, he by the car. We sitting right there. He not playing. He's standing at the corner. So like, imagine we at this corner. Remember, his shit was one across the street from this shit. We standing by his car. He walked to that corner. And he see us, we see him, but we think he gonna keep walking. Then I realized he's standing there and the light went red and green. We've been standing there for a minute. Another cop come right behind him. He point. That's them right there. I'm like, ain't you giving us a drive, bro? You giving us a drive. You giving us a drive. I peeped what he tried to do. He already knew we was going to whoop that ass. You my man, he already knew we was going to whoop that ass. He already knew we was going to whoop that ass. You my man. He like, what the f*** is he on, bro? He had the cop on standby. He came out, saw us, and waited. You my man, the cop waited right there, let him get in his car. He like, y'all must be some troublemakers. Everybody got fingers pointed at y'all. I'm like, bro, we ain't do nothing. The cop just chilling. You my man. No, bro, he was role playing. He sat there and tried to act like some who don't talk. Like he wasn't just in there saying, yeah, I want you. Step out to the street, 1v1. He acted like he wasn't just saying that. The was just in the church yapping it. Now he back to, oh, I know. He back to like, I don't know. Like, it's like, bro, you put on a whole Philly accent and yapped it with us and said we was wrong. You want to teach us a lesson and all this crazy shit. But Pete, he pulled right off, bro. Once he pulled off, we call another Uber. You my man. It try to give us him as an Uber, bro. He pulls up. See us, pulls off again, cancel. I call another Uber. It gives us him again. I'm like, nah, he playing on our shit. You my man. I called the Uber again. It got it as him. He playing with us, bro. He in the vicinity keep picking up the order. So I'm like, bro, he on some weird shit. So it say where his car was. We start running down the block. It's right, what park right by there? It's the funeral home that's right near Carroll Park. Who know where Carroll Park is? That's the funeral home. That's the funeral home we was doing all of that. So we right by Carroll Park. We running up the edge of the park towards where it says his car at. We seen. I'm like, he pulled off and cancel on us. I call it again. I'm like, he ain't gonna do it again. In West? Yeah, in West. I'm like, yeah, in West. I'm like, Nas, he not gonna do it again. He do it again. This time I'm like, hold up, Nas. I grab a rock. He like, what you doing? I'm like, bro, we not gonna be able to get on his handle or get him to roll the window down. We gonna teach him a lesson. We sneaking up to where the car at. He chilling, but he keep trying to like move. We predicted it. He trying to keep move. I'm like, bro, he gonna pull up to this corner. Watch. As soon as he pull up to the corner, bust his window. You my man. He kept driving. While he driving far away, I'm requesting this shit. Is looking for the Uber. I'm watching him pull off. It give us a whole nother Uber. We busted his whole window out and all that. You my man. For 30 minutes, he had us waiting out that joint. Just accepting the Uber, pulling up to us, pulling off, waiting at the corner, texting us, I'm on my way right now. You my man, bro. And it took us like 10 to 15 minutes to figure out, like, bro, why does Uber not coming? I'm like, damn, bro, it's been 6 minutes for 6 minutes. We laughing and all that. Nah. You my man, he kept accepting that John. But we end up getting another Uber, bro, and never going to KOP. But that shit was so crazy, bro, because, and then actually, I think I could, hold up. What's that shit called? Google Maps. That shit was so crazy, bro, because the whole time he doing that, I really wanted to dip because the family of the people was still there. So they kept looking at us, and I kept thinking we gonna get jumped. The cop played the corner for a minute, but after that, he dipped. Hold on, let me see if I could Google Maps it for y'all. I just texted Nas, told him give me that video. That was his phone. That's why I couldn't find it. Hold up. There it go, right there. Google Earth is better. This is not Carroll Park. Carroll Park down here. Hold up. Why they taking me? Take me to Carroll Park, man. Hold up. Let me see. Hold on, I want to show y'all. There we go. Oh, there we go. That's it right there. It's a funeral home. That might be it. That's it. That's it, y'all. Yeah. This it right here. Damn, that's crazy. This it right here. This it right here, dog. They not taking us to, yep, here we go. Yeah, that joint right here. And we was, and the Uber driver had pulled right here. The Uber driver had pulled like right here in the section, dropping us off right here. Like, yo, you Derek? I wonder who Derek was. Derek probably made it there eventually. And then he was parking his car like right here. I know where that's at. That's the funeral home right there, bro. All that happened right there. All that happened right there, bro. I just so nice to send me that video. Yes, bro. And they like, no, don't leave, don't leave. Derek was probably the favorite brother. No, but the kept accepting our ride and then chilling right here. So I'm like, bro, we gotta walk to it. Then I see the pull past us. Then I see him accept it again, but he waiting all the way down at this corner. So we run up straight up the block. Then pull off on us again. He not accepting the ride. I'm like, bro, he on some weird. Nope. Where you get the rock from? Right here. The park. That's how I remember where it was. Because when I grabbed the rock, I grabbed it from Carroll Park. This a park right here. It was a rock that was on the ground right by the park. Yeah, bro. He's an asshole. Random. He was like, but you could tell he got black influence. You feel me? It was a joint where he was like, yo, you could tell he got black influence. Like, he definitely got some black friends. And, like, he be around them sometime. That shit was hilarious, though, bro. No. I know that, John. All my Philly. Damn, your life really a movie. You my man, bro. It's so much shit I didn't even tell y'all about. Like, let me just think off the top of my head crazy shit that just happened. Two Humpy had to fight the foreign automobile dealer in Miami. We fought him. Um me and my family almost got into it with Humble Zay. I'm just thinking crazy shit be happening. My mom boyfriend, what's that nigga name? What's that nigga name? My mom old boyfriend, Junior. His name is Junior. He's a Junior. It's more stories about Junior. You my man, Junior. Try to press my dad. Yeah, Junior. Yeah, I remember, cuz. Yeah, that was my mom boyfriend. Junior. Yeah, he's a. You can't trust no name Junior. Rican. He got the Playboy Max build, but Rican. Literally, black white beaters, tattoos, curly hair all back here. Playboy Max build, dirty ass sweatpants, slides with his toes out. But I got all it's all these bips. When you go in the Yachty crib, we about to leave right now. No, I did the story time for y'all.